do anything, you know. So all I could see is his shoulders just doing this. And then he got mad at me after that. Come on, man, don't you know I'm
I was told one time that he had seen me on the road and he thought I was going to turn around and, try to catch up with him and meet up with him. He goes, don't you ever do that. He goes, I'm usually undercover. He was going right up here to 19th and Glendale. He was meeting a buyer.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm so glad you didn't follow me, Kim.
What was he doing? Remember when he was out, was it Camp Verde? Or no, it was north on I-17. Remember he was living out there for a while? Like way north. You know what I'm talking about? And they had, does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it was
There was some
probably,
little community up
it was
there.
probably with those guys up there that were, independent sovereign kind of. It was
Yeah,
a group,
yeah, it was some like
independent
cult
sovereign
thing.
guys that are all weaponed up and,
Yeah.
and what have you.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. I forget what that town is, but I remember him being up there, and
I think
I remember loving being able to say to friends like, "Yeah, my friend, he's undercover. I can't tell you. I can't tell you what he's doing. Not that I knew, but
My friend works for ATF.
yeah, it sounded cool.
And I'd wear my T-shirt every once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say, it bothers me to this day that man ever carried a gun.
Yeah, for sure. He wanted me to do when he started his police work in Tempe, he wanted me. I don't know if any of the rest of you went with him, but he wanted me to do a ride along with him. Did you go? Well, on the night that I was with him, we had to make a call, a response to a domestic violence deal, but it was violence on a child, and so we roll up, and he says, "Okay, I need your help on this one." Man, I'm riding along. What's he says, "Okay, you got to be." Then it was CPS. You got to be Child Protective Services. I said, "Okay, I got that." So we go, and I hang back. He said, "Just hang back a little bit." Okay, we go, and the poor kid. He obviously had been hit, but he wasn't in any distress at the time, and it was a really tough call between the adults who were there as to who had done what. So Bobby goes up and talks to him, and then he comes back to the car to talk to me. He says, "Okay, you gotta put the fear of God in him." I said, "Okay." So we go back up, and he introduces me as so and so from CPS, and I'm looking at the kid's marks on his leg, and I think they told us that he had been spanked with electrical cord. So I'm just okay. Here we go, and I'm talking to him about how bad this is, but I'm deferring to Officer Gant on the crime call. I said, if he calls crime, or if he says you do this one more thing, then we're here. We're taking. We're done. Just playing it out, and so. I didn't know that to ride along with Bobby meant we go and we play along with the thing, but that's what he needed at the time, so that's what we did. JJ, do you remember, I think both you and Barron were with us. Remember when we went skiing in Flagstaff?
Yeah.
Remember what happened?
With Doug?
Yeah. You want to share that occasion?
I don't remember a whole lot about the trip. I don't even remember how old I was.
Yeah.
I think we were at a restaurant.
Well, what did we do first of all? Because that's part of what made him cool to you. What did we do? We went up and went skiing first,
Yeah.
right? And he was
You're remembering it better than I do.
okay. Bobby was a decent snow skier. He's a good athlete, but he was a decent snow skier. So he invited the three of us to go, and we all went with him. So we're up snow skiing in Flagstaff for the afternoon or whatever it was. Everybody had a great time. Then we stopped at that little I don't know, our favorite little sandwich
Sandwich.
place there in Flagstaff. And we're sitting there eating, and we're watching. The TV is up in the corner, and we're just talking back and forth, and we've enjoyed the day and what have you. And Bobby is on the side where he can see the TV, and I'm facing away from it. The boys are there, and he said, "Oh no," and he just dropped his head. I mean, to the table, just. And I turned around, and it was the announcement of Doug Knutson being killed. And then Doug was, you know, he was part of our posse, and Doug had a big role in Bobby being a policeman from the trip that we took together to Brazil, just talking back and forth at that time. And when we saw that, I just remember it was terrible. And guys, I got to tell you that for whatever reason, the Lord granted, and some of you too, I'm not isolating myself, but to be there. You know, when you care about somebody, you want to be there in their critical times. And I was there visiting with his stepfather. Just be Gert and me in a hospital room when he's dying of cancer. And the chance to share with him about eternal things and get past his Catholic upbringing where he thought things were going to be a certain way. And I can still tell you what our conversation was. But I'm not going to bother to do that now. Out with Bobby and know that not only do I want to represent the Lord, but I'm trying to help Bobby not have to face his pops. It was his stepfather, but it was still the man who raised him, and to suffer through that loss. And just as a side note, an important side note, but I did find out that after I was there that night and had talked and prayed with Mr. Girton, and he had a chance to think about some things, there was another pastor from I have no idea where that came early the next morning and met with him and led him to the Lord. And he died. And it was a remarkable thing, but to walk with Bobby through that, to be able to do that, is part of one of the blessings of life. And then to walk through his mom's death with them, and that was, around, but all they really had was just a few people, and of those few people were the rest of his family, that family, his sister and her 2 kids. And I know, Kevin, you were around, and it was like that's really all there is. So to go to the funeral and then go to the interment of his mom, and he knows so much more of the Lord than anybody else in his family. So they have, and his parents were pretty faithful to the Catholic Church, to attending and what have you. But this was all just the ritual, and they had just, the best they knew how to do was ask somebody from the funeral home to take care of the service at the interment. And to have it be so stale and so dry, and then to be able to be there and just, prompted by God's Spirit when he was finished and gone, and I just took the family and I said, come on guys, let's get together. We just had a great time of prayer and just talking and knowing that's what Bobby needed to hear. Those are the things that we got to pray, were the things that he needed to be reminded of during that time. And it was great. It was great. And there were times when he would, I shared this with Sam the other day, I think, that there were times when he would run out of gas. What you guys have admitted was, he's always pouring out. He was always pouring out. And there were times that he would just run out of gas. But rather than let that cause him to act out among other people, I can't tell you how many times he would come to me, and whether we were here or in a foreign country. If it was a foreign country, he would say, hey Jerry, I just need to be